author's work, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, his theory that people are happiest when they are in the state of flow, a state of concentration or complete absorption with the activity at hand and the situation. It is a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. The idea of flow is identical to the feeling of being in the zone or in the groove. The flow state is an optimal state of intrinsic motivation where the person is fully immersed in what he or she is doing. This is a feeling everyone has at times, characterized by a feeling of great absorption, engagement, fulfillment, and skill, and during which temperamental concerns are typically ignored. In our studies, we found that every flow activity, whether it involved competition, chance, or any other dimension of experience, had this in common. It provided a sense of discovery, a creative feeling of transporting the person into a new reality. It pushed the person to higher levels of performance and led to previously undreamed of states of consciousness. In short, it transformed the self by making it more complex. In this growth of the self lies the key to flow activities. We set out to find what other people's flows are and how much it affects their lives, and if they even know what the idea of flow is.
Flow is, just being able to like zone out and just kind of chill, be at peace with yourself, or like kind of transcend where you're currently at.
I've heard of it, but I really don't know. Not really.
The first time I heard about flow, it was a documentary, and it was basically about people's lives that they had certain hobbies that would keep them going, or they would be like most interested in doing something that would really get them to be excited to do it.
No.
I would have to say no.
Flow is, I'd have to say, just kind of being at peace, sitting, just letting life run its task.
No. Partially.
Really not sure.
I experience flow when I smoke my pipe.
All the time. Sitting in class, I tend to doodle, and I always draw. I love to draw.
Flow is music to me. It's something that helps me express myself, and it really just helps me to be free, to not have to worry about anything. For the time period that I'm playing, is just kind of everything stops. At times it can be really frustrating, trying to learn a new song or this or that, but once you get it down, it's a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, I definitely experience flow when I play guitar, especially on the older songs that I already know. I kind of like playing older songs because you're already used to it and you don't have to worry about different chords or different progressions.
When I'm working on an art project, I get completely involved with it.
I guess I would probably say I experience flow when I'm reading. If I can get really into something, or not just reading, but watching a good show, movie, whatever. I get really into it. I really start to identify with the character, especially if it's something that I'm really passionate about.
Usually when I'm listening to music, just sitting back relaxing.
When I experience flow when I read, as lame as it sounds.
I really like working and just doing other stuff with my car, driving it.
Yeah, like I said, it's relaxing, lets me space out, kind of forget my troubles for a little bit. I don't know, helps me think clearer, stuff like that.
Relaxation. It's always nice to finally see what comes out of it and what you get out of it, and it's really nice.
Definitely. Being able to play music with friends is really, it relieves stress. It's a lot of fun to sit down and play with other people. But to be able to play with other people, you have to be able to play sort of competently. So there's that learning period that's really frustrating, and just, but it's worth it if you can sit down and get through that.
I don't know, I kind of like get in the zone and like just kind of lose myself in playing guitar, and I just have a good time with it. You don't think about anything else, and you just have a good time with what you love doing.
I get a lovely art piece.
Any benefit to take away from it gets me to be more creative. Like it gets me to start to think about like the stories I would like to do, and like can I make a character as that can connect with people in the same way that that character connected with me.
From hearing other lyrics of songs I listen to, hearing perspectives of how the world works, and just what people think, honestly, that isn't myself.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, reading definitely helps me relax a lot, and when I can really focus on a book and just block everybody else out, then it's a good way to escape, I guess. It's as cliche as it sounds.
If you get, if you break down on the side of the road, you should always know how to fix your car and what to do with it when you're in trouble.
Well, I mean, other than that, it's not really a healthy habit to actually be smoking. I mean, a flow, I don't see any negative.
The fact that you can get so immersed that you kind of lose track of other things, like schoolwork kind of gets back burner when I have a certain drawing that I really like that I want to finish, and have tons of ideas that just get in the way of schoolwork, but I like to draw, so.
Like I said, frustration, that's definitely a negative, but every now and again you hurt yourself. If a string breaks, you can cut your fingers or different things. Occasionally you bust your heads on your banjo, which is really frustrating and expensive. But you know, any good habit costs money.
Mainly it's all about having fun and trying to get better at what you're trying to accomplish. So if it's guitar, then you want to really excel in that, so you produce flow and you really have a love for it.
I tend to ignore my homework when I'm working on art.
Sometimes it gets me to not be really paying attention to something. Like my mom will be talking to me, and it's incredibly rude, but I'll just be like, yeah, like I'll just agree with her. I have no idea what she just said.
There are some times, which I mean, I listen to a lot of music, but even with the negatives that some people throw across that I don't agree with, you still gotta have an open mind and listen to what they're saying.
Well, the negatives are when people try to get my attention, or when they need to speak to me, and I'm just not, they're completely blocked out, so they have to say my name 12 times before they can get my attention.
It's a really costly hobby, especially when you want to make other differences to it.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely am addicted to being chilled out and calm, and being able to be free or flow, as you would say.
Oh, it's totally addicting. I mean, between the fact that I love getting most of my drawings as tattoos and stuff like that, I mean, it just continues, and it's hard to really stop it.
It can be, at times, yeah. At times I can just sit and play for, I've only been here for 10 minutes and it's been 2 hours. And there's times I feel like I've sat and played for 10 minutes and it's been 2 minutes. If you're frustrated or struggling with a song, it definitely makes time feel like it just slows down. But if you really get it, time slows down. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, but life is good when you get songs down and you can sit and you can just play through a song and just do your thing and not have any problems, and all is well.
Yeah, I feel like I'm addicted to guitar. There's definitely days where I don't play as much as others, but I'm almost always willing to pick up my guitar and play.
Can be.
Yeah, I would think in a way it is addicting, because that's your main focus. Like everything else at the time, you're not really interested in, because you just want to keep focused on this show or whatever.
It's extremely addicting. That's why I listen to it 24/7.
Yes. I think reading is very addicting. But that's not a popular opinion, I don't guess, that people have. But I think it is, and I enjoy it, so.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you just want to work on it.
Older favorite flavors for sure. Get that extra sense of nostalgia. You know, it takes you back to another time you smoked it, or if you were like smoking it with friends and stuff like that. It's a whole memory in itself.
I tend to challenge myself. I mean, there will be times where I'm looking at like certain like reference points to go off of, and there's other times where it's just like I really want to write it or draw it from my head, and like just whatever idea I come up with that comes out on paper is what I was thinking of, rather than like, oh, I'm gonna draw this and this is what I want to have done. I'll just be like, a ship seems pretty cool, I'll draw a ship. So, and just whatever comes out of it comes out of it.
Playing a song that you're good at is definitely relieving, but it's almost to the point of you're just going through the motions. You know, you have the muscle memory down, you don't have to think about it, you can play it and have a conversation with somebody. I mean, that's really knowing a song, and that is relieving, yes, but a real flow is right after you get a new song down. You can play it, it sounds good, but you still have to, concentrate on what you're doing. You can't just, turn to somebody, hey, what's going on, and just keep playing. You have to concentrate on your song still and play it. That's where it's at.
I mainly experience flow for older songs that I already know how to play. Newer songs you kind of have to get the hang of and get the chord progression going and the strum pattern, and it's more not so much of a hassle, but it's not as easy, and I don't feel like I'm as in the zone if I'm playing a newer song because I don't know it as well.
I can experience flow with almost any art project, but I really focus on the ones for schoolwork.
Something new is something that I can get interested in. Like otherwise, it's like we already know what's going to happen, so there's not really any need to focus on it.
I'd have to say a new band. It's got to be instantly hearing something that I've never heard before.
I experience flow the most when it is a new book, because there's more to focus on. If I'm rereading a book, then I kind of know what's going to happen. I only reread a book if I haven't read it in a while, or if I really enjoy it. So there's always something new to learn when you reread a book, but I experience flow the most when there's something new in front of me.
Usually it's something that's brand new that I haven't done before.
Based off of our interviews, flow is very addicting, and almost no one knew what flow was prior to our interviews. This shows addiction is prevalent in everyone's lives, and that knowing what the definition of flow is isn't always important, since everyone seems to find their own flow on their own. Something that we found most that people have described in their flow is enjoyment. When people ponder further about what makes their lives rewarding, they tend to move beyond pleasant memories and begin to remember other events, other experiences that overlap with pleasurable ones, but fall into a category that deserves a separate name: enjoyment. Enjoyable events occur when a person has not only met prior expectations or satisfied a need or a desire, but also gone beyond what he or she has been programmed to do and achieved something unexpected, perhaps something even unimagined before. Enjoyment is characterized by this forward movement, by a sense of novelty or accomplishment. Playing a game of basketball that really stretches one's ability is enjoyable. Experiences may particularly pleasure at the time they are taking place, but afterwards we think back on them. That was really fun, and wish they would happen again. After an enjoyable event, we know that we have changed, that our self has grown, and in respect, we have become more complex as a result of it. All of these experiences may be particularly pleasurable at the time they are taking place, but afterwards, when we think back on them, we say, that was really fun, and wish they would happen again. After an enjoyable event, we know that we have changed and that our self has grown. In some respect, we have become more complex as a result of it.